Hello and welcome to my tutorial ebook, Adding Fractions with Like Denominators, where every single problem is linked to a video tutorial. Alrighty, this is an on-your-own problem, so you should have solved the entire problem, and now you have your paper in front of you, and you're watching this video to make sure you did everything correct. If you make a mistake, no worries. Just pause the video and fix your mistake. That is the fastest way to learn, my friend. And with that said, let's move on to the scenario. This is Trumpet-Playing Dog. You have a very talented dog named Rex. Not only can he sit, roll over, and fetch a ball, but Rex can also play the trumpet. Just like he's doing right here. He is so good at playing the trumpet that he has been asked to give performances for local businesses. The only problem is when Rex sees a cat, it does not matter what he is doing, Rex will chase that cat. Rex was giving a performance at a local fire department. He was 2/9 of the way through his song when a black and white tabby cat came running past. Rex dropped his trumpet and took off after the cat. Another time, Rex was playing for a local Librarians Convention when a couple of Siamese cats ran up a tree that was next to the deck where Rex was performing. Once again, Rex tossed his trumpet aside and took off after the cats. That time, he was 4/9 of the way through his song. And your challenge? How many songs was Rex able to play in all before he began chasing cats? Alrighty, so let's go ahead and solve this problem here. Rex has done 2 songs. On the first one, he was able to get through 2/9 of the song before the tabby cat came along and he dropped his trumpet and took off after it. And then his second song, he was able to get through 4/9 of the song before those Siamese cats came along and he took off after them as well. So the first thing you should have done was to create your rectangle that you can then cut into 9 parts, because the denominator tells us how many parts our fraction box is going to be cut into. And you would need 2 of those, so I'm going to just go ahead and make 2 right here side by side. Now I'm going to show you a little trick that I sometimes do, and I'll put these 2 fractions fairly close to one another, and then when I'm drawing the lines, I can draw the lines straight across and do both fractions at the same time. So watch how I do that. So since there are 9 parts, I'm going to cut these, or I'm going to draw 8 lines. So I'm going to go 1 line all the way across, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 lines. Now that's going to give me 9 parts. Let's double check. Here's 1 for both of these, then 2, then 3 for both of them, 4 for both of them, 5 for both of them, 6 for both of them, 7 for both of them, 8 for both of them, and sure enough, 9 parts. Now, so the next thing, first of all, you should have 2 boxes with 9 parts in them. If you did that, great. If not, pause the video and fix it. That is the fastest way to learn. And on this first song, we get to fill in 2 of these boxes. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in 2/9, right? And once again, the numerator tells us how many we get out of the denominator, which tells us how many parts it's cut into. And on this second song, we get 4 out of the 9. So I'm going to go ahead and color in 4 of the 9. And let's just make sure we do this kind of perfectly. And sure enough, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 parts. So now once again, I am adding 2/9 plus, I'm going to make a plus sign big and dark there, 4/9, right? And if I count these, I can just count them like this. I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that gives me 6/9. So if you drew this fraction box correctly, and you drew this fraction box correctly, and you counted them all up correctly, and you wrote equals 6/9, then you did the mathematical model correctly, and that is fantastic. Now, on the last one, I did move these over. You could move them over. If you have it like this is fantastic. However, if you wanted to move them all into one fraction box, you could have just gone like this, and I'll show you that real quickly. You did not have to do this, but you could erase this one right here, and actually I used the wrong thing there. You could erase that one and move it right here, and you could erase this one and move it right here, and you could erase this one and move it right here, and finally you could erase this last one from that box and move it over here, and that way you had it all in one box, and then you'd go 1, 2, then 3, 4, 5, and 6 out of 9 6/9, and which is our answer right there. So either way is fine, however you chose to do it, so long as you had the fractions drawn correctly. Fantastic. All right, let's move on to the algorithm. Alrighty, so here we go. I've got my algorithm written right here, 2/9 plus 4/9. And when you're doing the algorithm, the very first thing you got to remember is that you have to have common denominators. You cannot add or subtract fractions unless you have the same denominator on the bottom, right? So in this case, we're adding, and I do have common denominators, so I'm good to go. The second rule is that you only add or subtract. In this case, once again, we're adding the numerators, because that tells us how many parts out of the denominator we get, right? And I get 2 out of this one and 4 out of this one. I moved them over here though. So I'm going to add 2 plus 4, which is going to give me 6 for my numerator, and I've got 9ths, and I never add or subtract the denominator. I just carry it straight across, because that tells us how many parts I've cut the fraction box into. And as you see, my algorithm here agrees with what I've got here for my mathematical model, so that is fantastic. Now, if you did all of this correctly, super. If not, just pause the video and fix it so that you have everything done correctly, and each time you do this, you'll get better and better, and soon you will have no mistakes at all, my friend. So, until next time, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you soon.